After recording this episode, we got the sad news that Richard M. Sherman, one half of the legendary Sherman Brothers duo, passed away at the age of 95 on May 25th, 2024. He was preceded in death by fellow Disney legend, his brother Robert B. Sherman. The two of these guys contributed so much to the Disney parks, but also to films and television. They contributed over 200 songs to movies and TV shows that Disney has put out over the years, and maybe they're best known for their work in Mary Poppins. But for me, the songs in the parks are the things that will stick with me forever, and I'll be most grateful for. Songs like One Little Spark, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, The Tiki 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 Room, and of course, It's a Small World. You know we're grateful for it. We act like we hate it, but we all love It's a Small World. You cannot deny the impact that the Sherman Brothers have had on Disney. Their fingerprints are all over everything, almost as much as Walt's. So I just wanted to take a moment to recognize Richard Sherman and, of course, his brother, Robert Sherman, and thank them for everything that they've done. The world has lost an incredible talent, and there's a little less music in the world today with the passing of Richard Sherman. But we will always have the music in the parks, in the movies, on the TV shows that they contributed, and the impacts that they've had on our lives. Thank you, Sherman Brothers, and rest in peace.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and I am here once again with my two fabulous co-hosts. Let's introduce them individually, and we will start with the one and only Landon the Dawsdone. Landon, welcome to the Monorail.
Hi, everybody. Coming from the isolation station of love. It's me. It's the DOZ, Landon the Dawsdone, and it's a Monday morning. You know what that means. On this particular Monday morning, happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hopefully you were able to get a day off of work. If you were not able to get a day off of work, you get time and a half for having to go into the office. And let's remember what we get Memorial Day for those who served and gave the ultimate sacrifice for this great little weird country we call America, our great little experiment of democracy that seems to go at each other, but it's still quite a thing. But thank you all who served, and thank you for those that gave all.
Absolutely. Well said, Landon. And thank you for being here with me today. We also
I got nothing else to do, so why not?
We also have to welcome in our third co-host, our third co-pilot of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. It's Stephers. Welcome to the Monorail. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I am so good. I baked cookies, so I have a lot of cookies to consume while we record this podcast.
Oh, that's what people love. They love hearing you chew directly into the microphone.
Hold on a second. A little Stephers ASMR. Never hurt anybody, but I know how to mute while I take my chomps.
Well,
just saying.
We appreciate that. But we do
save that Stephers ASMR. Maybe we could raise some money for living with the Landon.
That's true.
I mean, it would be a great market for our YouTube channel. I'm just saying.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Be sure and subscribe to the Monday Morning Monorail podcast on the YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before April 1st of next year so we can go live for the Living with the Landon fundraising experience for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee.
It's true. Get out there, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of stuff going on. I posted my video of my street corn review from the Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's a short one, so it's easy to consume, just like the corn on the cob. It comes with a little a holder. It's great.
And once you subscribe, be sure and like the videos, and then hit the bell icon so you know whenever Jay posts anything, you'll get a notification. You can be one of the first ones to watch it. As the YouTubers say, click the things that make the dings.
Wow, I hadn't heard that. I don't know that I love it, but okay.
Well, I'm going to keep saying it. How about this? Once we get to 1,000, I'll stop saying it.
Okay. That's entice the people. Negative reinforcement. I do on deck. I'm currently working on another video that will be posted to the YouTube. And of course, you know, it wouldn't be an episode of the Monday Morning Monorail unless I had mentioned Smellephants on Parade. I will be posting my full experience with Smellephants on Parade. Hopefully that'll get up this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. So if you're listening to this on Monday, hopefully it's out there.
I also think that there was a 3-part video situation that I was going to post on our Instagram. Mm-hmm. But I do think that one of those 3 parts should go on YouTube.
Okay.
And it has to do with our favorite park, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we can talk. We can talk about that. I don't know what part you're referring to, but yes, we can definitely.
Oh, I know. It's a mystery. It's a mystery for you. It's a mystery for the folks at home.
Okay. I forgot to do it last week, but I'll do it this week. This is episode number 203 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today, as Landon mentioned, is Memorial Day. It's May 27th. It's the last day of Flogar. So Flogar is sailing off to Valhalla, and we in memoriam we will miss you, Flogar, and enjoy the rewards of Valhalla that lie ahead of you. We will see you next year. But now we are entering the hot festival-free Epcot summer, and I'm pretty excited about it. You know, we keep getting some updates like around the Disney Parks blogs. The content creators are sharing all the Communicore Hall updates. And actually, if you follow Hyperion Adventures podcast, they posted a really nice video on their social media showing all the lights doing their little dance on the side of Communicore Hall. So let's drive some traffic to Hyperion Adventures podcast. Check them out and also all their socials. But yeah, the stage is almost complete for that Encanto show that we're going to be getting. They've added theming to the stage. They've added lights, speakers. I mean, I took a loop on the Epcot monorail a week ago just so I could get a bird's eye view, and it looks great. And it's nice because the stage is covered, but also there's nice covered viewing areas if you want to hang out and watch that Encanto show once it officially kicks off. But I'm pretty excited for this festival-free Epcot summer. I think that I'm going to embrace it because I don't know that it's going to stay this way next year. I really kind of think that they're sort of, like I said, celebrating that they're officially opening that side of Epcot. But I don't know. Am I in the minority in that, I really do appreciate it when Epcot takes a break from the festivals. I think it's nice.
It's refreshing because we've made the joke. It seems like, especially here recently, there's always a festival going on at Epcot. And the festival started as kind of an extra thing you could do at Epcot. But in recent years, it seems like there literally was always a festival going on at Epcot with the exception of a couple weeks. Yeah. And those couple weeks were so they could tear down one festival and set up for the next festival. So I think it is, again, I'm going to use the word refreshing, that this summer there isn't going to be a festival going on and Epcot can just kind of be Epcot. I think this is cool.
Yeah, definitely. I would love for it to be that way, but I know they use the festivals to drive traffic. Stephers, are you a fan of festival-free Epcot, or do you love the festivals all the time?
I was about to say, I feel like if there isn't a festival, it kind of balances out the attendance at the parks. Mm-hmm. I feel like hold on, let me think if I want to say what I was about to say. It's one of those things where I don't feel obligated to go to Epcot at a specific time. Mm-hmm. because you get the break. Like I could, take that time and go to Animal Kingdom.
Right.
And then like do like a nighttime at Epcot or something. You know what I mean? I feel like if there's a festival, like I always want to go multiple times and like try XYZ thing. So I think it's a nice change of pace. Also, it pushes people to like the restaurants that are already there that are actually pretty decent. You know what I mean? That they wouldn't normally like, hey, we're going to Epcot for festival food. Like we don't need to make a dining reservation or try this place or that place, which I love a lot of the restaurants at Epcot. I also just like the vibes at Epcot, even though I know there aren't a lot of rides. That's something that people, have to say about that. And they always go because of a festival that's going on. But I kind of just like the laid back vibe that it provides.
Yeah. I have to say, like, that was a great point, Steffers, and I want to, like, double down on one of the great things about Festival Free Epcot is it does give guests that opportunity to go to that restaurant or that quick serve or whatever it may be that you don't typically try because you're always, like, trying to hit all the food booths and get the, either your top items or the items you've heard recommended. This is a great opportunity to do that, and take advantage of it. Go to places that you wouldn't normally go. Like, I love the Spice Road table, and I think that's a place people overlook in Morocco. Go try that out, why don't you? It's got some good foods and great views sitting right there on the water. You can sit outside. But yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the other side of that is if you're not driven to go to Epcot multiple times during your trip because you're trying to hit all the food booths, maybe you do spend a little more time at, parks that you kind of cut down, like, for example, Animal Kingdom, and you discover some things that you love in different places. So yeah, I think it's great. And it does maybe like respread the attendance. With a festival going on, you can always guarantee like weekends and after like 5 o'clock, especially for food and wine, locals are going to jam Epcot full during those times. So that's just another reason, maybe like, Epcot is a little more chill vibes this summer. And I'm excited about that.
Yeah, fingers crossed we see that. Good point.
Yeah.
I try.
Great job, Steffers. So this week, of course, we've got some headlines that we want to get to. And also, I am going to share my experience, in summary at least, at the DreamWorks Land preview that I got to do yesterday at Universal. I also got to visit the Summer Tribute Store. And little teaser, is this my favorite tribute store, non-HHN, that I've ever been in? Maybe. Possibly, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Before we get there, just a couple quick reminders. Landon mentioned it before. Don't forget about Living with the Landon. We do have a shirt design, and soon we will tease a little bit more about what that's going to look like. But make sure that you are planning to get involved, donate in whatever way that you can. We're trying to raise money for the Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, and that, of course, is going to culminate with the Living with the Landon event on April 1st, 2025, when Landon turns the big 4-0, and hopefully we donate at least $40. I'm hoping more than that to the Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee.
Yes, please, more than $40.
And
at least 41.
Yeah, at least 41. Let's go for 41. The other thing I wanted to mention is we've been doing a lot of work on the social media, Instagram, Twitter, and also YouTube. We're trying to post content and be a lot more active in all of those places. We'd love for you to follow us. Instagram is @MorningMonorail. The Twitter is @MorningMonorail. And the YouTube is Monday Morning Monorail Podcast. Don't forget about our Facebook group as well, where we interact with all the Monorail family members on a day-to-day basis, in fact. Lots of good stuff there. So you're missing out if you're not getting involved. But hey, interact as much or as little as you want to. I'm just glad you're here. So that's the business. And let's put on our swimmies. We plug our nose and we jump into the headlines. That's right, dreamers. We're back once again with all of the Central Florida theme park headlines. We have scoured the internet. We have culled through all of the noise, and we're bringing you the headlines that are important and interesting, and we've gathered them all up into a neat little package here on the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast. So as we get into the news, we're going to start with Disney, and I feel like we cannot move forward without addressing the elephant. Well, we already addressed the smell-elephants. So now we address the elephant in the room, which is, of course, last week Disney rolled out their brand new policy for DAS. Now, we talked about it when it was announced that there were going to be policy changes. And if you missed that episode, basically what we're talking about is the disability access service policy at Walt Disney World. In the past, this was a service that you could go to a park the day of your visit. You could go to guest services. You could request DAS access. And the intent is this allows accommodations for people that don't have the ability to stand in lines a long time, whether it be because of developmental disabilities, cognitive disabilities, or physical disabilities. People were able to use this. As part of the new policy, Disney really was trying to accomplish two things. One was they were trying to reduce the abuse of the DAS system because sad to say, but it's true. You could go out on Facebook groups, not our Facebook group, but other Facebook groups, or look for YouTube videos. And there were people that would teach you how to automatically almost get approved for a DAS pass in the past, whether or not you needed it. And people were using that to basically skip lines and use the lightning lanes for attractions at the parks. So Disney says that this was something that was happening a lot and really impacting not just lightning lane waits, but standby waits as well, because the usage of DAS had gone up like 30% post-COVID. Now, let's just totally ignore the fact that maybe people coming out of COVID, there were a lot more people who had the need for DAS, legitimate need. But, you know, I do understand trying to do something about the abusers. But when we talked about it before, I think we all agreed our biggest concern was that the new policy was going to end up negatively impacting people who legitimately need accommodations. And without getting into a lot of detail, because these are other people's stories, I'll just say firsthand accounts that we're seeing from our friends, not just people in the Monorail family, but stories that we're hearing sort of across the board from people who are trying now to get approval or navigate the new system. It's not going well for a lot of people who have legitimate need. And that was our big concern. So my big takeaway on this was just that I hope that Disney is listening to guests. I hope that they are going to adjust as we go forward and really find ways that they can tweak the system so that, yes, we're limiting the amount of people who abuse it, but also we're not alienating or marginalizing people who actually do need it. And it makes me very sad, because I've definitely heard people saying they're going to have to adjust their travel plans. Maybe they don't go to Disney as much, or they don't go at all. And Disney, I think we all agree, that's a place that we feel like everybody should be able to go and enjoy and not feel left out or marginalized. So it hurts my heart that that's happening. And we're on your side, guys. We talk a lot about things we love at Disney. I think it's good to balance that out with things that we don't love. And so far, this is definitely one of those things.
Yeah, to say that the rollout of the new DAS system has gone poorly would be an understatement. And when we talked about this, when they initially announced they were going to be changing the DAS system, you pointed out how our initial thought was we were afraid that the people that do legitimately need the DAS system to enjoy Disney to the fullest extent were going to be marginalized and were going to be impacted negatively. And it seems like those concerns were and are being validated, at least early on in this process. But we also said hopefully Disney would use common sense and listen to the concerns and quickly change. And again, going back to common sense, realize what's going on, and on a case-by-case basis, help these people and these individuals that do need this. Yes, of course, we want to weed out those that are and were gaming the system, for the lack of a better term. But it seems pretty common across the board. Disney's go-to answer is, oh, well, you are aware you can buy Genie Plus, or you can purchase individual lightning lanes to get around this. And that seems to be their default answer on a lot of these DAS interviews that they have to go through with the cast members and the health professionals to be approved for the DAS system. And it's kind of ghoulish if Disney is really changed their DAS system into a money grab to drive people to buy more Genie Plus and individual Lightning. That is quite gross on Disney's part. Hopefully, this is just a poor rollout of a flawed system, and Disney will realize this and fix this quickly. But if this is how Disney is going to go forward with the DAS, this is awful.
Yeah. It's real bad. It gives me the ick for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so.
And let's mention telling people that legitimately need accommodations that, you can buy Genie Plus. Even if we were like, okay, we get that because it's still an option, which we don't agree with. But by the way, Genie Plus sells out on really busy days. And also that price spike. So not only are you telling people, you can pay more to try to get a similar experience to those people who don't need accommodations, but also what if you can't? Because you can't get Genie Plus. Now, one of the big pieces of this is they said that they were going to be altering the return to queue system. And from everything that I've heard, this is also really not. It's A, not clear, and B, it's not going well. And the direction that Disney's given is you have to ask at every single line that you're going to get in, what is the policy for this attraction, and how do I return to line? And without getting, too into the weeds on it, this is for people who maybe you don't have a problem standing, but the problem, or with, crowds or noise or something, but the problem is you may need access to a restroom more frequently than other people. And it sounds like people are being told that if you've got another party member with you, you just leave the line and then you can rejoin your party. Okay, but what if you're solo? So that's a problem. And then the other piece is every attraction seems to be applying the policy differently. And this is where I think Disney gets into trouble with a lot of things. I get it. If there's a policy, fine. We follow the policy. But just be consistent in the way that you implement it and enforce it. It's very tough. And again, all I can really hope for is that Disney will take a step back, listen to feedback. Another thing that was brought to light this week was that if you agree to go through the DAS screening process and try to get a DAS pass, that you are essentially signing a waiver that says you will not enter into a class action lawsuit against Disney because of this policy.
Like Jay, like you talked about like earlier, that gives you the ick. That gives me the ick to the nth degree. That like that language tells me that Disney realizes we have something that is kind of shady going on right here, and we need to DYA, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just so gross.
Yeah. So I think I would just say, if you're a person who needs accommodations at the parks, first of all, the window to apply got extended to 120 days out from your vacation. So I would say go through the process. If you feel like going through the process, start early, go through the process, see how it's going to impact you. So, your eyes are wide open going in. And then the other thing is just be aware, be prepared, understand what you're going into. And, I just hope the best for everybody. I don't want people to abuse the system. Obviously, nobody wants people to abuse the system, but I also don't want people who legitimately need additional accommodations to be denied. I just think that's wrong, especially at a place like Disney that's really supposed to be for everybody.
Disney, I mean, like I've said it before, and I'm not unique in saying this. Disney is my happy place, and Disney is so many people's happy place. And if cast members with a smile are telling somebody who needs additional accommodations to enjoy their happy place, maybe you need to look into spending $34.99 per party member to enjoy your happy place because you have an ailment. That's a slap in the face. That is so gross.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Disney, do better.
Yeah, take care of people. I mean, we talk about cast members make the magic, but you're really impacting a huge portion of your people here that pay the money to go through the doors.
And I know we like to come on here and be all positive about Disney because, I mean, I literally, 30 seconds ago said Disney's my happy place. But at the same time, we're going to call a spade a spade. When Disney steps in it, we're going to say Disney stepped in it. This past week, Disney stepped in it in a major, massive way. And again, Disney, do better.
Okay, moving on. Let us move on, and now we can talk about fun stuff, but I just really feel like we needed to address that. So thank you for giving us that ability.
Yeah, thank you for indulging us.
Thank you for indulging us. Let's talk about something fun. So coming up late July 2024, a big attraction, a e-ticket you might call it, is going to be back and rocking and rolling once again in Disney's Hollywood Studios. That's right. We have a reopening date for the Rockin' Rollercoaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Guests will officially be able to re-ride, get those backstage passes to the Aerosmith concert, and ride in the Super Stretch limousine starting July 27th, 2024. Now,
and Jay, tell them what it's being rethemed to.
Aerosmith.
What?
Yeah. I mean, this has been a long closure. The closure started January 8th, 2024. And people, we talked about the retheming. Landon made the joke. Everybody wanted to know if this was such a long retheming, or such a long refurbishment, are they going to be retheming the ride? No, Disney said that is not happening. Aerosmith will return, and we are going to continue to visit them in the studio and get those backstage passes to their concert across town. So, I believe there was some major refurbishment, like a lot of the track was being addressed, and maybe, I don't know if they were doing a full track refurbishment, but it's good to hear because a lot of times as roller coasters get older, they get a little rough, i.e. Rip Ride Rocket. And, so, I love to hear that, but this ride's great and it'll be wonderful because, again, having another attraction open up spreads out the crowd a little bit and opens things up for other attractions at Hollywood Studios. So very, very, very good news. Excited to hear that. Yeah,
exciting news. I mean, this is an attraction that's going to be down for well over 6 months by the time it reopens, and just like in the throes of summer. So it's going to be very people-y in Disney Hollywood Studios. So this will be nice to eat some people. And I'm excited to see if there's going to be a difference in the smoothness of the track, because when this initially did go down, there was reports, like you talked about, that the major focus of this refurbishment was on the track. Some people, like you said that it may have been a full track replacement. So I'm curious to see how smooth the new Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be compared to what it was when it closed or had its last concert on January 7th of this year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I know this is a universal reference that not a lot of people will understand, but the Mummy, when it went down, that track and that ride really smoothed out when they closed it for refurb for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's the same vein with Rock and Roller Coaster. I was going to say Rip Ride Rocket, and let's not talk about that one.
Yeah, me too. By the way, the Mummy is still rough, but it's just because of some of the natural things that happen in the ride, like abrupt stops and different things. But the track is much smoother now, and they cleaned up some of the stuff.
Oh, and the screens are better.
Oh,
maybe they updated the different elements too, not just the track, but the elements that go along with the ride itself. That would be awesome.
That would be nice.
You know what would make the Mummy track even smoother?
If Brendan
Fraser his car.
I knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
Got him. Oh, Landon's on a roll, baby.
20 years.
Yeah. He's been waiting on that coffee a long time.
Oh, poor Brendan Fraser. At least he got his Oscar.
Somebody get that man a coffee. Yeah. But no, that's good. It's good news when rides come back, and I'm excited for that. And
it's being rethemed as Powerline.
Powerline. That would be fine with me. But that's not happening this time. But if I'm
being honest, I think any retheme at this point would be fine with me. It could be a retheme of Encanto.
They could make it a Cars track. Like, you've got the Lightning
There was
McQueen.
speculation.
Yeah, you've got the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy right there, so you could
right next door.
Yeah,
oh
so,
man.
So why not make it a Cars track? And
oh man.
Oh, and by the way, the ride vehicle is already like a car, so you put eyes on it.
Oh man.
You can kind of. I mean, missed opportunity, Disney. But are they really following theme anymore?
Screw Disney not following theme. I know we've asked this question at least twice between Does Disney and the Monorail. What would you retheme it as? That has never crossed my mind, and I feel like a complete idiot for missing it because it is right there in front of me.
Well, I've never really thought about it either until just now, because one of the things I always think about is if you rethemed Rock and Roller Coaster, would you need to change the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy to something else to give some continuity over there? Disney probably wouldn't, but
no, they absolutely would. It's like, wait, we have to spend money to do this? No, we are not doing that.
Yeah, but since you've already you've already got Lightning McQueen over there, so make it like a race day instead of a concert. It's a race, and that's all you got to do.
I'm also just saying they also could have this is going to be a hot take. Please don't take me literally, but they also could have rethemed Test Track to Cars.
Yeah, they could have. Absolutely. That's something I've thought about in the past too, because you've got very similar ride vehicles at Disneyland, at Disney's California Adventure, for the Cars.
Radiator Springs?
Radiator Springs, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's something.
I get to ride it in 3 months.
That's exciting, Steph. I'm excited for you.
I am so excited. I'm actually going to buy Genie Plus.
Oh, well,
that's how excited she is.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You know, you don't get to go to Disneyland that frequently or go over to the West Coast, so make the most of it for sure.
I also hear it's actually worth it over there.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe that. I've still never been to Disney's California Adventure. So
our first Run Disney event, when we hit 1K subscribers on YouTube, we're gonna do a Run Disney event in California.
Oh,
right.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Listen, if we're going all out, we're gonna
really
pretend that we're going all out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna go.
Y'all are going to Cali now.
Okay.
We're going back to Cali,
and we're gonna do a whole experience. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the trip of a lifetime because of a huge milestone that we've accomplished. Listen.
Yeah, and well, then I'm going to volunteer and say I'm coming on that trip too. I mean, I'm not going to do Run Disney.
You have to. No. You got to participate in the Run Disney event.
I will participate from the hotel room while y'all get up at 2 a.m. to go run. But I'll definitely participate on the rides after y'all run that morning.
Landon, you're not even going to stand on the side and hand us a bottle of rum as we run by?
Hold a banner for us that says "Go Monorail, fam" or something.
Okay, fine. I would do that.
Okay,
I would do that.
We'll take it.
Okay, sure. Yes, I will do that. I will get up and hold a banner that says something.
Go.
Don't you have to get up at the crack of dawn to do radio? Like, aren't you already waking up at the butt crack of dawn for things?
That is true, though it's funny whenever I go down to Disney, it's like, all right, cool. I'm already used to getting up in the middle of the night to go to work, but whenever I'm down at Disney, I roll over, look at my clock. It's like 10:40. It's like, the parks have been open for hours. I need to go.
You're on vacation. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a bad idea to have to get up every morning really early when you're on vacation. It just doesn't make sense.
You could have just stopped. It's a bad idea to get up early every morning, really.
That's true.
Well, and speaking of bad ideas, Disney is just a bad idea machine this week, it would appear.
Yep, exactly. That's where I was going. Do you want to set this one up for us, Dawes?
Well, sure. Okay, so Disney, after they realized they totally screwed the launch of DAS and were rightfully so getting buried for it, apparently they sent out a memo to all Disney employees and said, hey, if anybody else has really bad ideas that they want to release to the public, this is the time to do it. So we are now getting a report from the Hollywood Reporter that Disney's exclusive Club 33 could be headed to the big screen. So, we may be getting a movie about Club 33, and according to the Hollywood Reporter, the project is said to have similar vibes to Clue and Night at the Museum with Sean Levy at the helm, and here is the synopsis, quote, For Club 33, the story centers on Kim, a young, aspiring detective living in present-day New York who receives a mysterious invite to the highly secretive Club 33. In this case, it's a magical and exclusive dining club that exists outside of time and space. The club's members are the greatest and most iconic members of the past, geniuses, royalty, and history makers. When a murder is committed moments after her arrival, the patrons look to Kim to solve it. Kim, who despite her brilliance can't seem to get out of her own way, must rise to the occasion and find a way to capture the criminal amidst the greatest minds history has to offer.
I'm sorry, you reading? Hold on. You reading that whole thing? It was giving Jack Black. I just can't unsee it now.
First of all, Stephers, thank you. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
It was a compliment. It was a compliment.
And I took it as such. In fact, I'm going to put that on my resume. Stephers said I sounded like Jack Black. I'm going to put it at the top of my resume. But
as you should.
So, Disney, Bubby, come here. We need to talk. After you did live action movies of The Jungle Cruise, which I liked, and you did another live action version of The Haunted Mansion, which I liked.
Me too.
Those are two attractions. I can understand why you thought, sure, we can make live action movies of those. We can stretch the plot of those attractions and put them on the big screen. You know, they have action elements of them. You're gonna make a movie about a restaurant, a bar. A restaurant and a bar that us, the common Disney fan, can't get into.
Wait.
This is what you're doing, Disney. You think this is a good idea. Disney.
Come on.
The sequel's going to be a DVC
Disney,
exclusive. Or like Adventures by Disney, the $200,000.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, where you can fly around the world.
It'll be like around the world in 80 days. But Adventures by Disney for $200,000.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry. This is great.
Like I say this, like every famous / really rich person, they need a no person in their posse. That person in their group that whenever the rich / famous person is just wilding with a bad idea, they're like, nah, dude, I don't think that's a good idea. You shouldn't do this. Disney needs that person right now.
Absolutely.
Like whoever is pitching a movie about the very exclusive, the very elusive Club 33. It's like, we're going to put it on the big screen and it's going to make us up. Now, guys, I know we've been struggling at the box office on the receipts a little bit. You know, the last Indiana Jones movie didn't really work. But I don't think this is it. Guys, no, Disney, no.
Yeah.
You know who their no people are? Their fans. Do they listen to their fans? Sometimes.
Disney, I'm volunteering to. I mean, obviously, I am your no guy. I'm not on the payroll, but I can be.
Oh my God! Just for people who maybe you're unfamiliar with Club 33, I would just like to tell you. So this is a very exclusive club that Disney offers. I think there is a wait list, by the way, so you can't just join if you suddenly come into a bunch of money. But if you get the opportunity, it's 30.
You join?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. You join with, I mean, I figured it was like some exclusive money cash pit, but I didn't really know. I don't know what qualifies you to even like
That's
be
how
eligible
exclusive it is.
Money.
If you have to ask, you can't get in.
Yeah. So
I literally don't know how you get into Club 33.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll go ahead and scratch Stephers off the list. You failed, young lady.
Yeah. So again, let's say you come into a bunch of money and you want to make dumb decisions with it. It's $35,000 to join up front. And then annually, if you're a member of the Disneyland Resort Club 33, it's $15,000 every year. If you're a member of the Disney World Club 33, it's $16,000 annually. Now, this does give you, you would have to hope it comes with some perks. And one of the perks is you do get the coast to coast Disney pass if you have this, so you can go to both parks. That's what I've heard. At least that's the way it was in the past. But
Justin Monorail was asking the question. You're scratched off the list there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm not a member. I don't know all the details about these clubs. All I know is I'm never going to know the details about these clubs because I will never attend or be able to enter one. And if I do, I'll be chased out with a broom. Yes?
It sounds like
a very expensive fancy broom, but still, no.
No dig to any member of the Monorail family that by some miracle is a part of Club 33.
Oh,
but it sounds
I guarantee you, we do not have a single listener who is a member of Club 33 Stephers. I guarantee that. And if we do, by some happenstance, I expect a very hefty donation to Living with the Landon next year.
I anticipate this being some sort of like, you don't have kids, so you invest in Disney kind of vibe. Because it sounds like you might as well just have a kid, pay for college, pay for this, pay for that.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Wild.
15 grand a year just for coast to coast tickets and an exclusive dinner that you still have to pay for?
Per person, I would assume.
To be fair, I've met kids and I've been to Disney. I understand why people would invest in Disney over kids.
And look, I also understand that there are people out there who $15,000 per person for an annual exclusive membership to a club like this would probably be a drop in the bucket for them. Great. I'm not really hating on those people because if they can afford it and they can do it, fine. Treat yourself. Yeah, enjoy your life. But most
yucking your yum.
Yeah, most people cannot. And it is pretty wild that Disney's like, why don't we shine a light on this hyper exclusive club that we have, make some sort of a movie about this, and then more and more people are going to look into what is Club 33 anyway. Oh, weird. There's this club
Sounds like a huge promo for it.
Right, but again, I'm pretty sure there's a wait list. You can't just join because you decide to. So I don't get it. Also, are you telling me this is not a Knives Out sequel? Because it sounds like a Knives Out sequel. Do we know for sure? It's not.
But Jay,
Knives Out was a good movie, right?
All their members are like Magic and stuff. Who is Magic and Knives? Well, okay, Dave Bautista is just Magic in real life. So other than Dave Bautista, who was Magic? By the way, new Knives Out movies coming in 2025. Who's excited for that?
Oh yeah, I love those movies.
I haven't seen the first one.
Oh, you need to, Stephers. It's great.
Very, very
I don't
good.
really watch movies. However, I have heard great things, so I'm like trying to finesse my way into actually watching movies. But that Beetlejuice trailer just came out, and that one looks fun.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Anyway.
So, anyways, I just think this is a bad idea. I think Landon, you agree. Stephers, I think you agree.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have feelings on this on this move by Disney.
A question I just want to throw out to the Monorail fam about this, and this can be our interactive question of the week, is what other movie would you like to see Disney make that would be based on some sort of a property in their repertoire that would just be an absolutely bad idea? Like, I want you to pitch the worst idea possible for the next Disney movie. I want to hear about it, and that's going to be our question of the week.
I know a good idea. Can I share a good idea since it's not the weekly question?
Sure.
I would love, you know how, I don't remember who it was, but I think like how the like hotels came to be, like a lore of the hotels, like the different themed hotels. Like, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I would like that.
Like, anyway.
Why not?
Okay, I have a good answer and a bad answer.
We'll give the good one and save the bad one for next time.
Next week for the bad one.
All right, the good answer, obviously Trader Sam's.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. That'd be great.
I'm surprised that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Listen, Disney, you went with Club 33 when you could have done Trader Sam's.
Yeah, Trader Sam's.
But I came up with a really good bad answer. I'm so excited.
Okay, we'll keep that in the pocket. Hopefully you don't forget it, and we'll talk about it next week.
I mean, it is Memorial Day, so I'm doing more day drinking than normal. So yeah, I'm going to write it down.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the Disney news for a week. It is now time to go across the Universal with Stephers. Before we get to the Stephers piece, I want to share an experience that I got to have this past Friday, because as a pass holder for Universal Studios at Universal Orlando Resort, I was invited to come do a preview of DreamWorks Land. Sure, I don't have any small children to take with me to go and experience this land the way it should be, but I wanted to go and see it for myself because coming out of media previews, as we said, there were some people who had some bad things to say about it. I imagine it was people who didn't actually go themselves and experience it. And I just want to say right now, I think I've confirmed that after my visit, because I didn't have one bad thing to say about DreamWorks Land. I think it's great. In fact, even though the attractions are for little guests of the theme park, I was allowed to ride the Catter Bus and enjoy the Rollercoaster. I was also allowed to climb around in Shrek's Swamp. I went down the poop chute, although...
Yeah, he did.
It did not go well for me, but I did it.
It did not.
He didn't have enough fiber in him.
I did not.
It just wasn't working out.
We were a little clogged up. That's true. But I did get to try it out. And so now I just want to say, like, I don't know where any of the negative feedback was coming from. I think it's wonderful. I think it's an upgrade. I think I've got a lot of good things to say about it. The Shrek Swamp area is so much fun. It was giving me Ewok Treehouse Village sort of vibes, which was really cool.
The Ewok Tree Walk.
Ewok Tree Walk. The troll area is so cute and whimsical. Poe's Kung Fu Academy is great. They've got a lot of really cool interactive elements. They've got the Puss in Boots cat house that you go into, and I went in there and got to experience that. And I actually caught Puss in Boots himself in a bathtub. He was having a bath when I caught him. Poe doing the training academy. So if you've ever experienced the Turtle Talk with Crush or the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, that's exactly what the Poe's Kung Fu Academy is. But all the little people get to go run up to the front, and then Poe himself comes out on a screen, but on stage, quote unquote, and interacts with the kids and teaches them some Kung Fu moves. And
that's cool.
It's really cool. It's very interactive. I loved that. The only thing I didn't experience was the stage show, which I think is called Imagination Celebration or something like that. I didn't do it because the timing of what ended up happening, actually, all the people that were in the preview with me at the same time all got sucked into the show, and it emptied out the land. So I was like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this and, get some more pictures and videos and things. All of this stuff, my whole experience was posted to the Instagram. So if you're not, this is a plug for the Instagram. If you're not following the Instagram, you need to do it at Morning Monorail. Go follow, because I posted the whole thing. I tried.
It made me so proud. Absolutely so proud.
Well, thank you, Steffers. I'm glad I made you proud. I tried the Shrexel. They've got something called a swamp dog, which is like,
bless you.
It's a grilled hot dog split, and then they bake it into this really like seasoned herb crusted bread. I thought it was good. My only criticism was it definitely needed like condiments because it was a little dry. But other than that, I thought it was good. I also tried ice cream. I tried the Brozone Huckleberry Blue ice cream. It was great. I loved it. It gave me blue lips, which is fun. Oh, also characters everywhere. Everywhere you looked, it was like characters were coming out constantly. Of course, over at Shrek Swamp, you can meet Shrek and Donkey. And then as you walked in, they had Puss in Boots was there and another character that I can't remember. But then, like, randomly a troll would come out and hang out in the Trolls Land. And while I was there, it was the one that farted glitter. So that was fun.
Don't they all fart glitter?
No, it's that one specific one. Yeah.
Oh.
The sparkly one is the only one that farts glitter.
Yeah. So he was there. And then I also saw there was another character from Puss in Boots' Last Wish that came out and was hanging out around the cat house.
I'm sure Fiona will start coming out too.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get Fiona. But it was so cool because it seemed unplanned and impromptu. There were just characters around, which is so cool for the kids. So I would give it on the appropriate scale, which is understanding this is a area for the kids. I'd give it 5 out of 5. It's great. It's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. Loved it. And like I said, I'm going to go back there because I think the theming is cool. And I would go for the treats again. I'd go for that ice cream again. Who knows? Maybe I want to ride the Catter Bus again. Like it was fun. I honestly smiled the whole time I was in there. So.
Well, and you talked about how you posted everything on your Instagram. I was out to lunch with Smoking Hot Girlfriend and her 12-year-old daughter, who is the target market for this. And I showed her a bunch of your videos that you posted to the Instagram, Morning Monorail. And she said everything looked awesome, and she's already pestering Smoking Hot Girlfriend when we're going back. So I mean, yeah, you're a 40-something who would give it 5 out of 5. I think even through the eyes of a child, through the eyes of a screen, would also give it a 5 out of 5.
That's great. I'm glad it came through.
I noticed something in your videos that you shared. Where Barney used to be, they turned that. It looked like that's where Barney was. I don't know if
that's
the
right.
wayfinding was.
Yeah.
But they turned that into like an interactive like stand situation where there was like a screen, but the kids were like waving their hands or doing something. I couldn't tell you what they were doing.
Yeah.
But like I liked how they didn't let that space go, dead space. I like that they utilized that for some interactive thing for the kids. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I saw the criticism people were sharing about the Poe's Kung Fu Academy area, and they were like, look at, like people were sharing like the noodle house, and they were like really down on it. I'm telling you, first of all, there are 3 different splash pads in that area, technically, because there's a splash pad back in the Kung Fu area. There's a splash pad near the Shrek area, and then they've got like little water features also in the Kung Fu area that are sort of separate. Which
is the point of that area. In case you didn't know, Fievel's Play Area and Curious George was a huge water play area.
Exactly. And and then not to mention where they've got like Poe's laundry hanging up. That, like, if you go up there, you're going to get drenched. But so you're right. Like where the Barney show was, there used to be it was like a Barney fountain was there, right? So now it's the Troll Fountain, and then they also use that area. That's where the stage show is that I didn't go to, but it looked like it was really good. People seemed to really enjoy that as well. But what I was going to say, those noodles, it's so cool. You go and you twist those noodles around, and it rings wind chimes, and that was cool. Yeah, and then like they've got like a little tilt-a-whirl thing behind that, or a little merry-go-round. Kids can go sit in that. The noodle bowls. Man, I can't imagine someone saying something bad about that space unless they were just a negative bummer of a person, to be honest. So, good job, Universal. Good job.
Yeah, good job, Universal. We love you.
Yeah.
Only negative is the noodle house doesn't have actual noodles.
I would agree with that, but but otherwise, I would take another.
I'll be that negative bummer of a person. Give me fancy ramen.
Oh man, noodles and also buns, like steamed buns. Like if they had those back there, heck yeah.
Who says they won't? Who says they won't turn that Woody Woodpecker eatery place into a posed bun hut?
Posed buns.
Something. Yeah. I was gonna get hot buns. I was trying to be appropriate, y'all. Jeez.
And they will fart glitter.
Oh.
Wait, no, that's trolls.
Yeah. I did. You know what I did too yesterday, which I don't normally do, but it felt welcoming to do it. Like I took selfies with characters.
Aww.
Which is not something I normally do.
So cute.
It was fun. I was enjoying myself. So anyway,
I'm glad.
All that was on the Instagram, so go check that out. The other thing that I got to do is the summer tribute stores officially open. And y'all, I just want to say, I love the tribute stores every single time. And I think the summer ones have been really fun the last couple of years. Of course, my heart always belongs to the Halloween Horror Nights tribute stores because spooky. But this summer tribute store, I love the vibes of it so much. Like from the outside, it looks like an old retro, like strip mall plaza. And when you go in, the rooms are themed like the first one's like an old movie rental store, like a local movie rental store. They've got an arcade, and then they sort of have like a theater room at the end. And the arcade is themed after it's like the Dueling Dragons Merlin Wizard is in there. And they've got subtle Dueling Dragons theming, as well as you can find Earl the Squirrel, I think, in every room in different areas. But I was like, it was so nostalgic, and like, I feel like they really nailed the feel. Plus, the merch is great. Like, they've got some really, really good merchandise in there as well.
Yeah, they do.
I spent way too much money. I won't even tell you how much, but I ended up with a couple shirts and a couple new hats for me, and then I bought some things for others as well. So anyways, man, I love the tribute store, and I like that whole aesthetic. And one of the things they have that I took a picture of, I'll try to find a way to post it so that people can sort of see it on the Instagram. They have a big poster board, like a cork board on the outside of the store. and it's got so many flyers posted to it and stickers and all. It's like a ton of Easter eggs. And I've already seen people like picking out things like, oh, this is like hinting for this thing, or it's a callback to this thing. And I really want to do like a deep dive on all the stuff that's on that cork board. I also found a poster that's like a teaser for the upcoming movie themed parade that's coming up at Universal. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I had a great time yesterday. I ate snacks. I spent a lot of money. I had so much fun. Overall experience, I'm just saying, Tribute Store 5 stars, DreamWorks Land 5 stars, Universal, they've been killing it for a while, but they're still on their game. So fantastic job.
Well, cool.
Universal nailing it.
That's right.
Yeah, it sounds like Universal is just firing on all cylinders, and not to mention, Epic Universe is looming in the distance, but a spooky presence is approaching more closely, and we're getting more and more. Oh yeah. Hints as to what's coming this year for Halloween Horror Night.
Yeah, it's true. Steffers, we got a couple more announcements even after the Pass Holder Lounge episode.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we anticipated that. I just didn't think it was going to be the whole week.
Yeah,
Who decided this? Who? Listen. All right, Universal. Let me tell you. So we had a whole week of announcements, and we have 6 original houses now on the docket for Halloween Horror Nights 33. So we have Slaughter Cinema, Major Sweets Candy Factory, which we talked about, Goblin's Feast, which we just talked about. And then the last, was the museum out?
Yeah, it was. We had
then the museum, and then the last 2 that they announced was after our episode dropped. The first one is Monstrous? Pronunciation is never my forte nowadays on podcasts, evidently. I'm also not going to try to butcher.
Oh, I wanted you to say that.
Absolutely. Okay, I will try, but I
can't say them.
I can get the with La Muerte as your guide. You'll be begging for piedad, maybe, from these 3 terrifying legends.
The first one.
I can't even.
Landon?
Trois Quel Puch. Listen.
Close enough.
We're going to try. Someone please provide me with the pronunciation for that, because I literally cannot. I have to also, but they also gave the description of what they were. There's like a creepy, they're all creepy. Let me tell you. I also had my friend translate. I sent him the announcement and I was like, please translate this. Like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, it's like Latin American mythology, essentially, is what he was saying. And I was like, okay, well, I don't understand what any of that means. So cool. I'm pulling up the description. Let's see what else.
I wanted to say, while you're looking at that, I wanted to say real quick. So this was a house they had in Hollywood last year, and our friend Andre, Thrills and Magic, you need to follow him for sure on YouTube and Instagram. Hi, Andre. As soon as this announcement came out, he texted me and said, I'm so excited because this was a house that he loved it in Hollywood. And he was like, but understanding that Orlando can go bigger and better with this, like he's thrilled. So that makes me very excited for this house.
Okay, so the I don't know, the Poochie one is blood-sucking, so I'm assuming vampire.
Uh-huh. There's an owl face. Poochie?
All right, tune back out, Landon. We're talking scary stuff. An owl-faced witch, La Lechuza. That one's easier. Maybe I got that one right. And bone-ripping El Cibon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think that's right.
Well... so those are the Monsters of Latin America. That's one of the first announcement that we got after the show dropped. And then the second one that we got, which is the last one, is the Triplets of Terror. You're invited to the Barmy Triplets birthday bash. And these things are terrifying. But beware, they celebrate by recreating their family's murders. Prepare for a gory gathering. And let me tell you, there are 3, obviously, because they're triplets. One has a bunny mask, one has like a broken skull mask, and one has like a it's giving, maybe it's a newspaper skull mask, unclear. It just looks gory and gross with a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for a themed birthday party, but the theme is recreating their family's murder. What the hell?
Well, the murders their family is responsible for is what I'm thinking that means, because I'm getting very like House of a Thousand Corpses type vibes from this.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, especially with the text and the background, and particularly with the way those characters look. That's a good call.
Yeah. I think it's going to be sort of a combo of that and like maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of smashed up, but something like that is what I'm getting.
Remember when we were talking about like comedy, scary?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just based off of the image, I kind of feel like this might be like a playful scary.
Oh,
house,
really?
You know?
I didn't think so. That's
well, when I first saw it, I was like, "No, this is gonna scare the poop out of me."
Yeah.
Maybe they're cuddly.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a birthday party. You know what I mean? I don't know. It depends on how much they lean into this whole birthday bash thing. It could be like playful party, but let me hack your brains out kind of vibe.
Do you need therapy?
I'm already in therapy. Joke's on you.
Do you need more therapy?
Probably, but that's for a different podcast.
I mean, to be fair, we all need more therapy. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny you went that direction, Steffers, because I was actually thinking, as you mentioned, yeah, some of the houses like it tend to be a little more light. I didn't take this as going to be one of those. I think this is going to be one of the scarier houses. I think
it kind of ranks high on my list now, though. To be honest,
looking at the six, if any of them are going to be. Looking at the six, if any of them are going to be quote unquote lighthearted, I think it's going to be Major Sweet's Candy Factory.
Yeah, I mean, and that one's still going to be intense, I think, and gory.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're all going to be intense because this is Mickey's scary AF Halloween party. I'm not going to make you edit any more than I already have, Jay. One more time,
appreciate it.
But I think it's interesting that we've gotten 6 original IP announcements. So, do you think? That going forward, it's going to be IPs they announce for the houses. Do you think this is going to be it for original houses?
Well, it won't be it. Steffers,
shut up, Jay.
I think it's going to be a 60-40 split. I think Andre said that when we were talking in the DMs on the gram. I think this wraps up the originals that they're going to do, and then they're going to have 4 IPs, which then lends itself to, okay, so what rights couldn't you get that we're going to have next year, and what rights did you actually manage to pull off for this year? So I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Well, and can I ask one more Halloween Horror Night novice question?
Always.
So Monstrosus debuted in Hollywood last year, correct?
Yes.
And it's coming to Orlando this year. I know we talked about how because Orlando has more real estate and can do it bigger. Does that mean since it was already in Hollywood last year, it's going to be a copy-paste for the house we saw last year, or is it going to be a tweak and do it bigger, or not bigger? They're going to change it, and it's going to be similar but different than what we saw last year.
The latter, so similar but different. I think. Well, like Jay was saying, the fact that they're bringing it to Orlando, and Hollywood is a very smaller scale event. I think the fact that they have the room. They have, more or less, they have the means, in air quotes. I think that it'll be the same premise, obviously, the same props more than likely, just maybe spread out a little bit more, or maybe, I won't be able to tell you because I haven't been to the Hollywood one, but like maybe an extra room, maybe an added element or something to that effect, but it'll be the same premise, just kind of on a bigger scale.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Like even though I will not be attending this and I'll be watching from the 10,000-yard view. I think all these houses look and sound really cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I will say original houses are always, and you will hear me scream this from the rooftops every single show, every single time we talk about Halloween Horror Nights. The original concepts are always my absolute favorite. Because when you have an IP, it's like you have a preconceived notion of like what it's supposed to be. Like the Stranger Things house that they did the second time for seasons 2 and 3, I want to say. I already knew what I wanted it to look like, and yes, they pulled it off, and I thought they did a great job with a lot of the rooms, but it was just one of those things where I like to just not know. Like, you have a synopsis, but you don't really know where they're going to take the synopsis, so right. I'm very excited.
I get that.
Yeah. I just love the creativity that goes into them. It gives them the freedom to really, tell the story and surprise you in a lot of different ways. I do think they tend to get a little locked in if they're basing something on a film. Well, then we all
Correct.
expect that we're going to walk through that, but they find ways to surprise you anyway. But still, that's more of like, oh, it's cool that I'm going to get to go in this house and see some of these things I thought were cool in the show or the movie. Versus I have no idea what I'm getting into and I'm totally like just open to the experience. So,
I know when the Slaughter Cinema sequel was announced, how's that for alliteration? Stephers said that that was probably the house that she was looking forward to the most. Now that we have these 6, Stephers, I want to ask you what the original house you're looking forward to the most. And Jay, same question.
So the most is still going to be Slaughter Cinema only because it's a sequel to a house I've already been in and I know I enjoy. However, now with these 2 new announcements, I will say Triplets of Terror has inched up on my list. I don't even remember what my list was from last week, but I'm going to change my list more than likely completely, and I'm going to go Slaughter Cinema, Triplets of Terror, The Museum, Goblin's Feast. Ooh, I'm going to put Major Suites at the bottom now, and I'm going to put the Monstrous and then Major Suites at the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, my list would be similar, but I would say that I'm going to nudge Goblin's Feast up to second place.
Yeah.
So I'd go Slaughter Cinema, Goblin's Feast, then I'd go Museum of Deadly Exhibits, then I'd go Triplets of Terror, Monstrous, and then at the bottom, Major Suites. Now, the fun thing about that is the last couple of years, now that I'm into it, previously I was terrified, but now that I'm into it, as I go in with more anticipation rather than anxiety, my list gets turned upside down once I actually go. So I won't be surprised if that totally gets reordered, and who knows, Major Suites could be a major hit in my book. So it really, what's funny too about all that is everyone's list and preferences are going to be different, but a lot of it is based on your experience in the house, meaning the timing of the scares and did you get a good run? Because I've gone through good houses where I got a terrible run and I was like, I could see if that was my only experience, I wouldn't have liked that house. But you go again and all of a sudden your timing's good and you're getting the scares and then it's like, hey, that might be my favorite. So it's very dependent.
And even though I'm not going to be going, I'm going to say my favorite house is Goblin's Feast just so I can say Goblin Ding Dong one more time.
You're so funny.
Congratulations.
I will say I do have a set date that I am going to Halloween Horror Nights, and it is toward the end of the run.
Mm-hmm.
I think after people I know go, after we get all the announcements and people I know start to go, maybe I'll try to go twice.
Okay.
Because I listen, when I go to Halloween Horror Nights, typically I try to go 2 nights. Typically it'd be one by myself or with Jackson, and then the next time I would go with my friends. I just think this year's going to be a hit for originals, so I really want to be able to take it in.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can do it. I don't think I could do multiple runs of the same house in one night, especially toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, unless you want to pay a lot of extra money and get the express, but otherwise, yeah, that'd be very hard.
Yeah, the night I'm looking at is $180.
Oof.
I already checked.
Yeah. So anticipation definitely peaking right now, and we've still got 4 more houses. But before
And scare zones
and show announcement, because we haven't officially gotten that either yet. So we'll see.
Bill and Ted coming back for more.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do it, dudes.
I would cry so hard. That show, especially with all the pop culture BS that is going on right now, like that show would just be so perfect.
Yeah.
I would pay money for
fine.
them to rip apart whatever a JoJo Siwa is.
Oh, she was featured at Epcot this past week. I don't know.
Yeah, she was. God, I had to see that all over my Twitter feed. I did not enjoy that.
Drinking around the world for her 21st birthday. She's just living her life. Sometimes I feel like, especially these people that, in her case, she's grown up in the spotlight, and sometimes you wild out a little bit. And so I'm just glad that I didn't always have cameras and things on me growing up, and I'm grateful that not all of my ridiculous behavior has been caught on camera. That's all I'll say.
And I will agree with that, but I'm gonna be honest. Up until about a month ago, I did not know what a JoJo Siwa was. But because YouTube is covering her reimagining of herself, I kind of wish I could go back to a month ago ignorance is bliss type situation, because I am tired of seeing JoJo Siwa.
She's going through it.
Say it one more time and it's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, don't say it.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, damn it, Stephers. That's the third time we've said his name this pod. He is... Get out of here. I already got rid of you last night, you monster. Oh, he's going to eat the rest of my Doritos.
Well, we cannot exit the news portion of the program without talking about SeaWorld, because we are the official podcast of SeaWorld. So this week, I would like to share that SeaWorld Orlando is celebrating its 60th birthday with festivities and free beer.
Happy birthday.
That's right.
Sorry.
SeaWorld will be doing their annual free beer for all for guests 21 and older through July 26th. Guests 21 years and older can get free beer at the Waterway Grill patio. All guests can receive one 7-ounce beer, while past members receive two 7-ounce beers per visit from 11 a.m. to 1 hour before park closes. And so that's great. We all love free beer. Thank you, SeaWorld. And that's all I have to say about it.
I actually don't, because I don't like beer, but, great sentiment.
Yeah.
Well, then,
I will give you my beer.
Yes. So I can have a total of 14 ounces of free beer. That is just a little bit over a beer.
Hey, it's free though.
It's okay. So. It's free. Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, with your theme park ticket that costs how much?
Well, it's cheaper than the other theme parks.
It's SeaWorld, so it is cheaper.
That is true, but it's still not technically free.
That's right. When is Peppa Pig?
Come on,
when is Peppa Pig going to offer free bacon? I'm gonna go over for that.
Come on, SeaWorld.
All right, Stephers, you mentioned that your best friend was able to just preview the new Antarctic area,
yes.
So I wanted to give you a second.
So my friend, since we are the official podcast of SeaWorld, I just wanted to let everyone know that the new Antarctic area, they have a new penguin exhibit, and these penguins are so close. And he sent me videos, which I'll post on Instagram. But one of the penguins flooped out of the thing.
Oh no.
And landed in front and was running to my best friend. And I'm just like, is the penguin okay? And his husband was like, yeah, they just picked him up and threw him back in. So there are nets on some of the exhibit, but the spot that they were in, they might want to net that because the penguins can escape.
Now that is an immersive exhibit.
It really is.
And there's also an indoor version where you can see under the glass where they're swimming in the water, and that was really cool. But they were saying that it's a very close encounter kind of vibe, and that I would love it. And he tried to video chat me, and I cried with all the videos that I will also share. And they look so cute, and there's one that's really angry looking.
Well, that's kind of scary. Was it the one that flooped out and went running at your friend?
No, it looks like a grandpa penguin,
Oh, a grumpy grandpa penguin. Yeah, I get it.
Quick question. If a penguin escapes the exhibit and you catch it, is it similar to if you go to a baseball game and you catch a foul ball, do you get to keep it?
No.
Legally, I am obligated to say no.
Okay.
You cannot keep it.
You can.
But if it was me...
It is funny now.
Stephers, the listeners can't see you wink on the podcast. I keep telling you this. This is an audio-based format.
Well...
I'll just bring a big enough purse.
It is funny. It's funny to draw this line though that what does going to a baseball game and going to SeaWorld have in common? You can catch foul. I mean,
I hate it here. I quit the podcast.
Got him. Just shut it down. We're not topping that. Good night, folks.
Oh, but that is my SeaWorld news that I just wanted to share.
Jay, you truly are Papa Monorail, because that is the daddest dad joke I've heard in a long time.
Also true. Yes.
Oh, are we glad that we left behind the blue collar comedy? Because I could bring it back.
No, we are fine leaving it in previous episodes.
All right. Hey, Steffers, did your friend get to ride Penguin Trek, or was that not ready yet?
No, he just said it was not open.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because I'm 95% sure they said spring 2024. So hello, any day now. I'm assuming.
Hello. Okay. Well, I'm excited. That looks like a fun ride, but it's really cool that he got to check out the new area. Cool. When we're talking about Antarctic feels appropriate.
Oh, I called. So they posted on Instagram a video of penguins. So then I immediately, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I immediately called them and I said, you guys are still going to SeaWorld tomorrow, right? And he was like, yeah, why? I was like, the penguin exhibit is open. Please take videos. I was like crying. They're so cute.
You've got good friends that take care of you, Steffers. That's
good. Absolutely. And also, in case anybody does not know, I have a tattoo of a penguin. So, my love runs deep.
It does.
Very deep.
At least underneath the skin, for sure.
Correct. Exactly. Correct.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap up the news for the day. But we are not finished because it is time to introduce a brand new segment, a brand new train car to the Monday Morning Monorail. Steffers gets her very own segment called STEPHERS Sensational Snack Station. Steffers, over to you.
Oh, it is me. And I will say I did not come up with that name. I'm pretty sure one of the guys did. And thanks, because I don't know how to do alliterations. Because that's,
Well, Aurora gave us the idea. And then I realized, of course, ladies love alliteration. Let's just throw your name in front of it and we'll give it to you. So there you go. That is how the sausage gets made.
I'm leaving that one alone. But since we were talking about all of the Halloween Horror Nights announcements, I thought for my first STEPHERS Sensational Snack Station that I would discuss some Halloween Horror Night snacks. I know Justin has tried some. Landon, I know you had beer. I don't really know if you had any other food other than alcohol at Halloween Horror Nights when you attended.
Alcohol's liquid bread, but I did have some food.
Okay, so I just wanted to go over, especially with Halloween Horror Night season coming up, just different things you can expect and maybe some treats and snacks you should try. If you didn't know, typically each year they do themed booths for the houses that are going on. So they had a Beetlejuice booth when when Beetlejuice was a house. Last year they had a Last of Us, different themed booths to The Last of Us based off of the game, not the show, which by the way is filming right now and I'm super excited. They also had, what else did they have? It's all spread out and typically they'll theme it to whatever's going on, or they'll just theme it to spooky ghoulies like mummies and vampires and stuff. RIP to the Monster Cafe. I'm truly sad. One of my favorite snacks, which people are going to say are overrated and I don't really care, it could be overrated for you but perfectly rated for me, are pizza fries. Now I will say, over the years, the quality has changed. They have also tried s'mores fries as the years gone on. Justin, did you ever try the s'mores fries?
No, I regretfully did not try the s'mores fries. Last year was my first time having pizza fries, so.
Well, okay, fair. I don't remember did you like them at all?
So.
I don't remember. I think you thought they were mid.
I don't think that I can judge them appropriately because I was maybe one of the first people in line for pizza fries, and they had definitely pre-prepared several servings. And yes. So mine was sort of like a congealed one solid thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, if it was fresh, I think it would be great because it's all the elements are great. Pizza, cheese, pepperoni. I mean, how can you go wrong? But mine was it left something to be desired. I would love to go maybe when they're cranking through them so they have to send them out more fresh. That was my takeaway.
Well, that's fair. Another staple of Halloween Horror Nights is the Twisted Tater. And I know the year that Beetlejuice was there, it was at the Beetlejuice booth, which was by Animal Actors live. Mm-hmm. I think I've only had Twisted Taters once or twice, but if you can get a good Twisted Tater, I think that is kind of inching in front of pizza fries as the years go on, just because of I want to say the quality control, because like you said, they kind of do that line where they're putting a bunch out and it kind of just sits there, and that's not really great. So sorry, but I still think you should try it just to kind of taste the experience. Last year they also did a dining thing, which I did not know. I'm sure we talked about it, but I didn't really realize this was a thing. It's called the Taste of Terror Dining.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a tasting preview of select Halloween Horror Nights food and beverage items. And it's like in a soundstage. It's like a separate ticketed event, but people were able to kind of go and try the different foods. We haven't heard if they're bringing that back this year, but I'm very intrigued. Something that I want people to know is that a lot of the booths also have like sandwiches, or one year that I went, they had like a dumpling booth. I want to say it was dumplings. Now that I'm saying it out loud, maybe it was like a steamed bun, but I want to say it was dumplings. It's pricey to try these different foods, and they can be hit or miss, but I highly recommend trying it. They had a cheddar jalapeno hellfire club. Where was all this food? I feel like I missed out on so many great little things. At Halloween Horror Nights, I think they're stepping up their food game. But a good place to go is the Today Cafe. They have a lot of themed desserts. And I'm a sweets girl, so I'm always going to tell you to go get a puff pastry or a cake, or what was that thing I tried? It was like a tower. It's like a shortcake that's layered, and it had a knife in it. Not a real knife, like a fondant knife. Anyway, try the sweets, do all the things. And just so I can cater to Landon's taste, they also typically have a cocktail or two that are like spooky themed, where most booths will sell like all throughout the night, the two special drinks. They also started adding the Voodoo Brewing Co. Lacto That's what that says, right? Lacto Cooler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That has become a very popular beer for people to get.
Yeah.
Most because of the theme. But,
yeah,
that's fine.
I actually during the Pass Holder Lounge, I was using one of my Blinky cups from HHN, and I was sitting there thinking, oh, I wish this was full of Lacto Cooler. That's all I wanted.
I never tried it, but, I'm not a big beer person.
You would,
but like in the can, I would keep the can.
This is different, Steffers. It has like a totally different kind of. It's more of a sour, and it has
it is not more of. It is a sour. It is a sour.
What does that mean?
Okay, I'm just trying to ease her into it, and it's very smooth.
It is.
Yeah, you would like it. What does it mean?
How about I get one, and then I take a sip, and I say, and then you have the rest.
Sure, I'll definitely finish it off if you don't want it.
Listen, I'm just saying. They also do things like blood bags that have alcohol in them. If you don't get them while they're cold, let me tell you, they are not very great. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to warm one of those, no.
They also had like a Rice Krispie treat that they like dyed red, and they made it like brains. They do a lot of theming in terms of like spooky, scary stuff.
They do.
So highly recommend.
And this is one of my struggles with the Halloween Horror Nights treats, because on paper, when you look at the ingredients, it's like, oh, wow, that sounds like something I'd love to try. And then the way that they package them or create them to look like something gross, I have trouble. I need the things that I'm looking at to look tasty and not gross.
You eat with your eyes and not with your...
like brains or
I do both.
Or raw meat.
Yeah, I definitely do both.
Because that happened the year that I went.
Yeah.
The beating hearts that they had, I think they were like gelatin. Yeah. I want to say they were like Jell-O hearts or gummy hearts, but that was really cool how they got them to beat in the case that they were in, and they would like light up. I thought that was cool as heck. Would I eat one? Absolutely not. But I thought they were cool looking.
They did look cool, but yeah, I struggle. But I try. And last year I did try to reach out, open my horizons, and try a lot of the stuff from the booths.
Aww,
I love that they do. A lot of times they will theme the food booths after the houses. So I remember the year that I went with, my first real year doing it with you, Steffers, and Theme Park Rob and Skipper Bob. They had a house for the Haunting of Hill, or a booth for the Haunting of Hill House, and one of the drinks you could get there was like a special old fashioned. And it was, I remember that being really good. Here's something they frequently do with the foods. At some point, you're going to run into a black bun or black bread red. But the black ones are the ones I want to highlight, because if you don't remind yourself that you ate this thing, or at least know ahead of time that it's going to impact how it looks when you re-encounter it later, it is sort of terrifying. what happens to come out of your body after you eat something like that. So keep that in mind. If you're going to eat a black bun burger or some sort of black, I guess they use green food coloring to make it look black. Spoiler alert, what's going to come out of you looks like fresh cut grass color. It's kind of terrifying.
You're going to have your own Halloween Horror Night experience in your bathroom. Your bathroom is going to turn into an unannounced house for Halloween Horror Night.
Yeah, and tying it back to my adventure at DreamWorks Land, with the Shrexel, you get green cheese.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
So guess what it does to your poops?
No. Oh no. I'm so glad we had this bonding experience, and that was Stephers Sensational Snacks segment.
Yeah.
On the Monday morning Monorail.
Good job, Stephers.
Have y'all had that some sort of cake pop, but it was a tombstone?
I saw it. I didn't have it last year.
That was the one thing that me and the Smokin' Hot girlfriend had before we had our. We would say that the best thing to have at Halloween Horror Nights is the entire menu at Finnegan's, because that's where we hold up. That was pretty good. I think it was like red velvet or something, and it comes in like I think it's Oreo crumble, like dirt or whatever. So I mean, that was a fun little treat as well. And then I want to echo the Lacto Cooler. Not only is it popular down there, it's popular at just in the wild, because a Voodoo Brew House opened in Knoxville and then it shut down less than a year later. But whenever I would go by Voodoo, they were always sold out of the Lacto Cooler. So if you have the opportunity while you're down in Orlando for Halloween Horror Night to try Lacto Cooler, highly, highly, highly recommend.
Also, the tribute store I know there's a summer tribute store. There will also be a Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. They will also have snacks in there. Special themed, obviously, to the event. Typically, they are sweet treats. But you can also try different things in there.
Yeah, you could probably get that cake pop thing. Oh, and I had something called bog slime or bog juice. It's a very sweet, sweet drink in a blinky cup.
Yeah, that's one. I think that comes back every year.
Okay, all right. Very sweet, very sugary.
It's very sweet. A lot. That's one of the problems that I have with the Halloween Horror Nights special cocktails is they are very sweet, and many of them you would not want to have two of. But I think my favorite one that I ever had was there was a peach flavored one that had popping pearls in the bottom of it there was a Weekend booth.
That year. The year that I was down there, he had that house.
Yeah. And that drink was it was sweet. It was still sweet, but it almost, to me, had if you imagine the flavor of a peach tea, it was that, but alcohol-y with the little popping pearls in it. I thought it was really good. And
I just pulled up the menu. It was called the Save Your Tears.
Yeah, Save Your Tears. It was good. And there have been a couple that I've found that have been a little less sweet and but the bog slime or bog juice or whatever you're talking about, that one's always, I feel like that one repeats, and maybe they do that with a couple of them. But, yeah, I mean, I guess you're trying to please the masses with these cocktails, so you probably make them sweet and fruity.
Sweet. Yeah. Probably most people want a sugary sweet drink as opposed to something with a bite or something where you taste your alcohol.
Yeah. Oh,
just want to keep feeding them drinks so they have more and more and more. But when I remember me and Lindsay, we got the bog slime. Each got a Lacto Cooler and that cake up on the menu. It's the Tombstone Red Velvet Cake Pop.
There you go.
So we just ordered tons of sugar.
Yeah, all the sugar. Give yourself diabetes in one shot.
And then we got chased by murder babies.
I was going to say last year they had a special it was like a full bar that you could go to, and it was in the area behind, I think it was behind Richter Burger, but there was an NBC bar, and of course David S. Pumpkins was back there meeting people. But they had special cocktails back there. if I remember right, those were less sweet than some of the other ones. Yeah.
Okay.
And they had some special food items back there too. So that, I hope they bring that back, because that was a pretty cool, it almost felt like an exclusive bar that you got access to and didn't have to pay $35,000 a year to be a member of.
Looking at the menu, one of the in 2022 there was a churro dog on a stick, which is a Korean style fried corn dog tossed in cinnamon sugar, and they also, going back to Jay's point of gross theming, maggot covered cheese dog.
Oh, people loved that one though.
Of course they do.
But I couldn't bring myself.
Y'all need therapy.
I wanted
need
to try.
Jesus.
I wanted to try that one. I did try the Good Guy burger last year, which was the Chucky burger. That was good.
Yes.
And then they had they had like hot chicken. It was like it was popcorn hot fried chicken at the Chucky booth that I had. That was good.
Ooh. I would get down on that. That sounds good.
I was actually enjoying that when I suddenly realized, holy crap, the Megans are walking around. It's happening. And I got to see the Megans do their thing. And then there was a peanut butter burger that had a red bun, and it had peanut butter and jelly on it.
Peanut sauce. It had a peanut sauce on it.
Peanut sauce.
Ooh, that would probably be good.
It was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty good too. So,
and then I pulled up the Voodoo Brewery website to give the description of Lacto Cooler. Lacto Cooler is our flavored Berlin Weiss. We made this sour ale with lots of, quote, green, giving this beer its unique color and flavor. It's a 5.5% ABV. And literally the first comment, because apparently you can leave comments on beers now. Welcome to the internet. Had this at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Night, and it was so refreshing with 11 thumbs up.
There you go.
So this is a staple at Halloween Horror Night.
Correct.
And even when Voodoo was open here in Knoxville, and I was talking to one of the bartenders, and I ordered my second lacto cooler when I was there. He's like, "Dang, you really like these?" Like, yeah, I got it, or I tried it when I was down at Halloween Horror Night, and he said, I have so many people who come in here and say that exact same thing. So again, if you're down for Halloween Horror Night, you got to try at least one lacto cooler, even if you don't necessarily like sours, because I drink a lot of beer. Sour beers aren't necessarily my jam. This is not your everyday sour. This is good.
There you go. Landon approved.
There you go.
Yeah, and if I know a thing or two in my life, booze is one of them.
Booze.
I say as I take another sip of my Johnny Black.
Well, Steffers, I would call that a very successful first edition of Steffers Sensational Snack Station. And that's hard for me to say, so I'm looking forward to trying it again in the future. But I also think that makes for a wonderful episode. We've done it once again. Episode 203 is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. So as we wrap things up, we always give an opportunity for our dear Monorail co-pilots to plug some things. So Steffers, talk about what you've got going on your, I guess you have another podcast. I don't know, like if we're just less important now or whatever, but fine. I'm just kidding. We love you.
I'm giving Justin a face, but you can't see it because this is an audio podcast.
Yes,
am I allowed to say the name? Are you going to bleep the name?
I've never bleeped it, so just go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just, I feel so self-conscious if I say it. Sippin' and Bitchin', we have episode 3, parts 3 and 4, because the book was very long, and I'm not going to try to talk your ear off for 10,000 years. Parts 3 and 4 are coming out Wednesday and Thursday of this week. So we're finishing up book 3 of the From Blood and Ash series, and it's pretty good because now we're switching gears to the prequel, and I'm very excited. So Sippin' and Bitchin' on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, and please share all the Morning Monorail socials and pages and things so that we can hit 1K on YouTube and we can grow our Instagram and our fam just 10 times bigger, or more, or 100 times bigger, whatever we're feeling. And Adventures with Steffers on Instagram and TikTok as well. Smiley face.
There you go.
I don't have a cool song, sorry.
Go do all the things. No, but I know somebody who does, and that is my friend Landon the Dawsdone. Sing your song, sir.
Oh, you mean Landoz? Please go follow me, Landon Doan. I'm the best, Landon Doan, not the rest. That's where you can follow me, 280 characters at a time on Twitter. I also appear on The Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI, radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. Thank y'all for streaming and listening along this time last week when I hosted the 9 o'clock hour of the Phil Show, and those who went and listened back on the podcast feed, because I am the one that runs the podcast feed, and I saw a significant jump in numbers, and I can only thank you, the Monorail fam, for being partially responsible for those jumps in the numbers. So thank y'all for coming and listening to me do my day job. Means the world to me. Means the world that you give your time to us each and every week. If you give us a second, if you give us the whole dang hour and a half that we go every week, it does not go unnoticed. You could be giving your time to literally anything else in the world, and the fact that you give it to us truly means a lot. To not only me, to Jay, to Stephers, to all of us. Thank you. You guys are the best fans in the podcasting game. I truly do believe in that. Of course, want to talk about Living with the Landon, April 1st, 2025, my fundraising effort for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. We're going to be raising some money. I am going to be marathoning from grand open to grand closing, or if we want to use theme park terms, rope drop to close on Living with the Land. As many times as I can ride it, I want you to pledge, and we are going to raise some money for some kids in East Tennessee, because every cent that you donate to me has been earmarked for the Foods for Kids, or the Food for Kids program in Second Harvest of East Tennessee, Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee's program to help kids take home food weekly, and that does include the summer, as a lot of kids are now out of school. And with programs like Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee, kids that depend on getting food will still be fed even though school is not in session. So I want to help feed people in East Tennessee, and with your help, we will be doing that April 1st, 2025. But we need those donations from you, and we need you to subscribe to the Monday Morning Monorail YouTube channel so we can go live on April 1st, get us to that magic number of 1,000. And not only that, we need to make those two ding-dongs, Jay and Stephers, participate in a Run Disney event. So, I mean, there's incentive all around to do so. So go to the YouTube, subscribe over there, subscribe to all the socials, subscribe to Stephers, subscribe to Jay, subscribe to the Monday Morning Monorail. And, of course, today of all day is Memorial Day. Stay safe. We want you to come back next week. If you're lighting fireworks, please leave with all of the appendages and digits on your finger, or digits of fingers that you started with. And again, thank you to those who served, and thank you to those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Love you. Talk to y'all next week.
And that is how we do the plugs here on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Again, at Morning Monorail on all the socials. I'm Justin_Monorail. Thank you all so much for listening for another week. We are in love with our Monorail family. No, let's not take it that far, but we do love you all. And let's keep it pretty above board. But no, you're great. And all the interaction, all the listening, we really appreciate it. And spreading the word about the Monday Morning Monorail podcast is much appreciated. Until next time, thank a team member, thank a cast member, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.